So, we continue our discussion on integration and interoperability, and so far we have understood what is the meaning of integration. This integration is something which is strategic in nature and it has two components, one is collaboration and second one is interoperability. Then we started talking about interoperability. Interoperability is about technical and semantic compatibility between two interacting systems. These two interacting systems can be two ERP systems, or it can be the each individual ERP connecting to a centralized supply chain management system. Then we also saw that why it is difficult to achieve interoperability, and now we are going to see what are the basic concerns about interoperability. The two major dimensions which are of important for interoperability are interoperability of data and interoperability of service. Now, coming to this interoperability of data, two major issues come in. First one is finding and sharing information from heterogeneous databases. So, these databases actually reside on different machines with different operating systems and different management and database management systems. So, as I was telling you last class, suppose on both the sides the operating systems are different and the data bases are different, and each databases the metadata, the representation of the data, they are actually different, then it is difficult to resolve, then appropriate measure has to be taken to resolve this issue. Then second one is about resolving the semantic differences that exist between the systems with respect to the structure and contents of the database. So, by structure of the database we mean let us try to understand. Let us say in one side we have this database 1, database 1, let us say it is Oracle, and where we have the data stored, let us say that shipping data stored. We continue with that example of that shipping notice, transferring the shipping advanced shipping notice from the supplier to the manufacturer. So, let us say that advanced shipping notice is something which is stored in certain format in supplier's database. Now, how exactly it will go to your to the manufacturer's database? It will be going to the manufacturer's database either in some form which has to be machine readable, and it has to be understood by your manufacturer system. So, there are many data exchanges standards which actually bring the data from one system to a common form, and that common form is actually understandable by the second system. So, there are many such exchange standards. They include EDI and XML, which are primarily used for this to resolve this incompatibility issue. Then second one is about interoperability of service. So, here though we will be talking more in detail about the services, here which is a more technical term, here I would like to just give a little idea about what a service is. Continue with our example of that sending advance shipping notice. Think that two different systems are going to interact. The first system is sending the advance shipping notice and the second system is going to receive it. Now the question is, how do the second system know that the advance shipping notice is coming? See, we are now automating the process, automating this inter-organizational business process of sending the advance shipping notice without involving any human being in between. One way of looking at it is that you get the advance shipping notice emailed to you, it comes in certain PDF format, and that PDF format some human being will sit and read and enter into your ERP system. The second way you can think that advance shipping notice is displayed on the HTML format in the other company's database, and you can look at it, but still then also you remember you have to involve another human being to, you have to involve a human being who will be reading it from the website and entering into the ERP system. But the third way is the data comes in a format which the machine itself can read. There is no need for the human being. So, in that case, a service will be hosted in the supplier system who is sending the advance shipping notice, and there will be one client program running on the manufacturer side who will be consuming that service. So, that client program from time to time will be accessing the service and will be storing it. If you have problem in understanding this information about the concept of service, just at least all of us now use some kind of cloud based storage. Let us say we put our file in some directory in the cloud, which is there in our own computers, which is there the cloud directory is there in our own local machine. So, once we put that file, do you think that immediately goes to the corresponding cloud storage? It has to be synchronized with that cloud storage, and your machine will have certain client installed who will be accessing the cloud service for storing your file. So, such kind of interoperability of service, so that you have the appropriate client installed in one of the systems, is also very important. So, it is not about resolving the data related the technical issues, it is about making the service compatibility as well. So, this interoperability of service is about identifying, composing and operating together various applications that are designed and implemented independently, and they require many technologies, and while discussing about the technologies we will be talking about them little bit more. So, what we have understood so far is that in case you would like your supply chain to be successful and the data sharing to be happening, you have to have supply chain integration. Now, this supply chain integration is about resolving both strategic level as well as technical level issues. So, we can say two integrated systems has to be interoperable, but two interoperable systems, unless otherwise the strategic level problems are resolved, they cannot be integrated. So, let us try to see the strategic level activity. The strategic part of integration is about collaborating two business partners. Now, this collaboration can happen in two dimensions. First, in the planning dimension, it can be in the planning level or it can be in the inventory level. Now, what is about planning collaboration? It is about taking this production planning decision in consultation with each other. So, this planning collaboration is about taking this production planning decision in collaboration with the business partner. What is to be produced, when it is to be produced, where it is to be produced, and how much to be produced. Then second level of collaboration is about inventory level. It is about considering, taking help of your partner while deciding, while taking ordering decision, when to order and how much to order. If we try to put the supply chain collaboration in these two dimensions, that is planning collaboration and inventory collaboration, then the traditional supply chain is the one where there is no inventory level collaboration and there is no planning level collaboration. And if planning level collaboration is there and inventory collaboration is not there, then it is called collaborative planning and forecasting. Then in case only inventory collaboration is there, it is called vendor managed inventory system. And if no such collaboration is there, if both the collaborations are there, then it is called a synchronized supply chain. Now, this traditional supply chain, where there is neither production planning collaboration nor inventory level collaboration, there is no visibility. In this model, each level in the supply chain issues production orders and replenishes stock without considering the situation either up or downstream tier of the supply chain. Naturally, such supply chains are not optimized. In fact, we are not dealing with the supply chain optimization part, we are simply concerned about the information flow, and to know more about this, you have to be actually going through some supply chain course about the optimization part of the supply chain. Now, because there is no information flow, there is no visibility between the information visibility. By no visibility, we mean the information visibility between two partners, and as a result they cannot collaborate with each other. And as we have told you, because of this lack of information sharing, there will be demand variability in the supply chain. By demand variability in the supply chain, we mean the due to lack of information, when the order you try to because you do not have the direct information. So, when you will be predicting, you will be actually estimating your demand without actual knowledge of what is happening in your downstream, then you will go through huge amount of uncertainty, and that uncertainty will be reflected in your production system. Either you will end up getting keeping huge amount of stock which you cannot really push into the market, or you will not be able to meet your service level there because of high variability. So, this effect I have already told you, this is called bullwhip effect. Now, most of the supply chain where people have not put explicit effort for integration still continue operating in this manner. Then, if there is planning level collaboration, but no inventory level collaboration, then it is called collaborative planning and forecasting. When we say there is planning level collaboration and not inventory level collaboration, we do not mean that there is no inventory information sharing. There is definitely inventory information sharing, otherwise even planning level collaboration cannot happen. The information sharing is there, but both the entities independently take their ordering decision. So, both of them do not depend on each other while ordering to their respective suppliers, but they will be planning together. They will be together making their production plan. So, now in this model, the retailer and the suppliers order independently, but they exchange the demand information and action plans in order to align their forecast for capacity and long term planning. Here there is visibility, and this visibility ultimately reduces your uncertainty. However, for successful collaborative planning and forecasting, you require right information at the right time from all the partners. Then it requires development of information exchange standards that must be adopted by all the partners, and again to be successful it requires undistorted information. Then if there is inventory level collaboration and not planning level collaboration, then the model that is followed is called vendor managed inventory. Look, here also there is full visibility, and in collaborative planning and forecasting there is also full visibility. In both the cases you actually share the demand information, but in the collaborative planning and forecasting, both the manufacturer and the supplier, they the retailer and the manufacturer, they independently take their ordering decision. But in case of vendor, they independently take their ordering decision, but the manufacturer actually makes its production plan in consultation with the downstream member. But in case your vendor managed inventory, both the manufacturer and supplier, they share the information, and supplier takes care of the replenishment, stock replenishment decisions. Because of this visibility of the stock position of the manufacturer and the demand being sensed at his end, the supplier takes care of replenishing the item from his side. So, this is called vendor managed inventory system. So, here in fact, I would like to add, in case of vendor managed inventory system, it works like this. Let us say we are talking about two members, either manufacturer or supplier, or it is a retailer or supplier. Suppose usually this vendor managed inventory system is followed by large retail giants like that of your Walmart and all. So, let us say Walmart is in VMI relationship with that of Campbell Soup. So, the stock details and the point of sales details at the Walmart is shared with that soup company. The soup company has the full visibility what is the stock level at a specific retail store in Walmart. Then your vendor, that is a soup company, also knows what is the kind of lead time he is going to take to send the items to the retailer. So, he keeps sensing the retailer's stock level, and once it comes down to some level where he has to actually send the items taking care of his own lead time without because he is managing the retailer's inventory without expecting the explicit order from the retailer, that is Walmart, the soup company will be sending the stock. Look, the retailer is not completely out of the stock, retailer is not actually sending the purchase order, but the supplier is sensing that the stock is going to be what is the stock level, he is sending the stock. This stock which is sent by the supplier now goes to the retailer's premises. It is called the consignment stock, and this consignment stock, though is kept at the retailer's premises, it is not it is actually not, it does not go to the stock book of the retailer, but retailer takes care of that stock. The moment that stock is opened by the retailer, the information comes to the supplier. After opening it, when it will be opened, when actually the stock, available stock at the retailer side goes to 0, the consignment stock will be opened. This consignment stock is so far the consignment stock has not taken into the stock book of the retailer, it is still in the stock book of the supplier, and supplier is also not paid for this. Now, once it is opened, once the retailer starts using the consignment stock, now it goes to the retailer's inventory, and that inventory, so far it was in the supplier's inventory, though it was kept in the retailer's location. So, now it is used by the and then the supplier actually updates its inventory position and retailer starts using the consignment stock. The benefit, both the parties are benefited by this. The retailer service level is maintained almost all the time, it will be 100% if the VMI supplier carries out his task perfectly, and supplier is also benefited. How he is benefited? Because he knows exactly when to produce how much. So, therefore, this VMI, if both the partners are in VMI relationship, it helps both of them because of this centralized inventory decision making. Okay. However, it is different from your collaborative planning and forecasting, because supplier may not share the production planning information. How he is planning her production, why he has to share, he is simply taking care of the. So, we can say this both this may be a good model for a retailer, I mean for a retailer like that of your Walmart, for a retail supply chain rather I can say, but in case of but it may not be a suitable model in some other situation, whereas this collaborative planning and forecasting, maybe this is a very good model for a manufacturing system where the manufacturer is heavily dependent on its supplier for certain component. Both of them can together sit down and decide about their respective production plan, but they can independently order their own inventories. Then the second last one is your synchronized supply chain. The synchronized supply chain is a very ideal supply chain where both there is inventory level collaboration as well as planning level collaboration. In fact, there are many factors without which this synchronization is not possible. So, what are these factors? First of all, I mean if both the supplier and the manufacturer both are in geographically I mean they are geographically apart, they are in their distance, the physical distance between them is very large, it is difficult to be achieved, this complete synchronization. So, this is geographical dispersion of the customer and the supplier's plant, they have to be physically located as close as possible. The closer and more dedicated supply is, the easier it is to implement the synchronized production and inventory control. Then the demand pattern of the product is also important. The more stable is the product's consumer demand, the greater dynamic effect of eliminating the Bulliff effect and synchronizing the demand and supply in the system. Then product characteristics, in particular the selling period and shelf life as well as the value is also another factor. The longer the shelf life or the selling period of the product, the more sensible it is to consider the collaborative practices for synchronizing the supply chain. The more valuable the product, the more impact the tighter inventory control can yield. Thank you very much. So, we will continue our with a motivating example how the information actually flows between collaborating partners in our next lecture. Thank you very much.